As we read that passage there in 1 Peter chapter 5, we see three key words. In fact, if you start in verse 1 and go down, what you see is you see the word elder, and then you see the word shepherd, and then you see the word oversight. Those are three specific, unique words that are not talking about three different offices within the church, but specifically one office, the office of pastor. The pastor is an elder in the life of the church. He is a leader in the life of the church. He is also considered to be a shepherd. Poimino is actually the Greek term there, and it's where we derive that language of pastoring from. And then, of course, you have that idea of oversight. So a pastor's job is to oversee the church, but also he's to do it in a way that is honorable to the Lord. It is not about him. Ultimately, the shepherd's job is to remember that this is God's flock, not his flock. He is to tend the flock. He is to protect the flock. He is to feed the flock. He is to lead the flock, but he is not to dominate the flock. And so a pastor's job is to indeed shepherd souls. So again, as you read that text, you see this idea of the importance of being a good example to the flock as well. So a pastor is not really in many ways like this Navy SEAL or this spiritual elite within the church. I think when you read the qualifications in 1 Timothy 3, when you read Titus chapter 1, you see that the office of pastor is really, in many ways, those characteristics should be exemplified in all of the men within the church. But there are some men within the church that God separates and calls out from among them to actually serve in this office and are given this responsibility of actually shepherding and overseeing the flock of God. So as we consider that responsibility, it is indeed a humbling thing. But what we must also remember is that the job of a pastor is to be something more than a spiritual commentator who just stands in the pulpit and just gives a data dump from the commentaries that he's been reading or what have you. His job is to herald the truth, and his job is to feed, his job is to lead, and his job is to protect, and all of it for the glory of God.